welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is CDD. How emotional were you this weekend?
Crying, tears, all the emotions, goosebumps. Good afternoon, South Africa. Well, as Balisa, standing here, Afternoon Express, I couldn't be prouder to call myself a South African.
Oh, just so incredible. This past weekend has been one of pride and glory for South Africans across the globe. And we'd like to extend a huge congratulations to the Springbok team on their success at the Rugby World Cup final. I actually knew that they were going to win. I did a whole message to them last week. I was in tears in the studio, and I knew they were going to win.
Goosebumps
well
galore.
done to our Springboks, a truly monumental achievement. Absolutely brilliant.
I love it. Now, look, in the words of Mandela himself, on a day like today, sports has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little actually does.
Yeah, today we focus more on South Africans making an impact in South Africa. Now, Chantel Goliath, who is the founder of the New Heritage Foundation, she joins us in studio to talk to us about the important work that they do in remodeling and maintaining learning environments for young children. Then Zanika Gwele from the Next Brand Ambassador also joins us on the couch.
Absolutely. Now, we also welcome Tom David and Warren Handley to chat about their book titled Walk With Us, A Gripping African Adventure. The book chronicles their journey through 6 countries, walking 6,000 kilometers in 2017. Now, to get your muscles pumping as well, we've added a jiu-jitsu fitness demo, which will obviously be the perfect way to end off your Monday.
Make this summer your time to shine with Big Soleil.
All right, starting off the show with one of my favorite topics of all time. It's time for our self-care series, brought to you by Big Soleil. Now, the term me time is often glamorized as taking time out for self-pampering and all the spoils, of course, that come with it. But what does it actually mean to spend time by and with yourself? So Renee Rousseau, of course, has all the answers, which is why she returns to the couch this afternoon. So such a pleasure to have you here again.
Thank you.
We love having you here. So there's a huge difference to be alone by yourself and lonely, but to be by yourself, to take out mean time is so important. Now, I love mean time, but what does it actually mean in a professional sense?
Okay, so me time is all about doing something special for yourself.
Yeah.
It's allowing yourself time. It's prioritizing time for yourself. For some reason, we have this idea that we haven't done enough. We're just not good enough for this me time. And also, the strange thing is that me time's associated with fear. Fear of being alone. So it's really quite strange. You think, like, if you say to someone, go out to take me time, they'll be like, yay, me time. And meantime, they immediately think, oh no, I need to be alone. I don't want to be alone.
It amazes me how few people can be alone.
It's insane.
It's weird.
It's
I love
insane.
time spent alone by myself.
A lot of people, I think, it has to do with loneliness. They assume that if I'm alone, it automatically means I'm lonely, but that's not necessarily the case. And now, you know, on social media, everyone is using the hashtag self-care Sundays, hashtag me time. But, you know, how much work goes in to kind of isolating yourself, being alone and spending that time?
There's a lot of work that you should be doing. But in reality, I mean, how much time do we really have for me time, you know? So the idea is that you actually need to schedule it. Make sure you are prioritizing yourself, because the benefits for it is unbelievable. I mean, you need to self-reflect to be able to succeed. You need to know about yourself. You need to understand yourself. And the way you're going to get there is through me time.
Totally.
We've been talking about self-esteem. Perfect thing, me time, to encourage and develop your own self-esteem.
But it actually goes even further. I honestly think that I could be the poster child for self-care and me time. So what I do for my me time is every single morning I put on my headphones and I listen to a podcast and I walk along the beach. I know it's a 5-kilometer walk there and back to my house, and I know that it's just my me time listening to a podcast. And funny enough, the podcast I was listening to this morning was about me time. And what the doctor said, and this is what I want to ask you, is he said when you do take time with yourself, whether it's through just me time and through meditation, when you consider everything in your body, you can actually heal your organs by
they
listening
say
to your
so.
body and breathing in a correct, like connecting with your organs. Like, I think kidney was linked to stress, and so when you actually take me times, you spend time
And kind of using your brain like as a healing medicine of some sort.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's giving yourself the opportunity to listen to what you are saying, what your body is saying. And as soon as you allow yourself to do that, you learn.
Yeah.
And what we do, we're stuck on our cell phones, we're so busy with life, we're not giving ourselves the time we need. So he's perfectly right, or she, sorry, whoever you were listening to, is perfectly right, because once you allow yourself to listen to your body, you're going to know, actually, you know what, I'm not feeling so well. But have you taken the time out to do that?
I know I like to enjoy different levels of self-care for myself, whether it's physical activity, whether it's spirituality, working on myself. And I know I'm dying to hear from our viewers at home how you spend your me time. How do you become one with yourself, isolate yourself, and feed the spirit that works so hard every single day? Tweet us, Facebook us. We want to hear from you. A lot of people do have different methods, but doesn't matter what you do. Let's say it's meditation, for example. How does that enrich you as a person and make you just a better person all round?
Yeah, well, with meditation, it's similar to what we've been saying. It's the fact that you're going to reflect on yourself. That fact that you are going to focus on one specific thing through meditation is going to allow you to self-heal. But I want to just take meditation like a little bit step further and say, you know, if you're not used to meditation, meditation's actually quite difficult to do.
It is. Your brain is always buzzing.
But I think people meditate without them knowing that they're meditating.
There we go. You've hit the nail on the head. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. It's like, don't stress yourself out about being there for 30 minutes to do the traditional meditation. You know, you can really find, you're going to decide, you're going to go for your morning run and you're going to have total quietness.
Yeah, that's like meditation.
That's like
a yoga class is a meditation.
Exactly. Running on the treadmill.
Yeah.
You know, like just focus. Actually, I've got this. I'm feeling good. I'm energetic. How am I feeling? Focus on yourself.
Okay, just for some of our viewers at home who don't know how to take their own me time, like I know a lot of my friends with children, their me time is literally just locking the children out of the toilet. And then they said, actually, Joanne Strauss phoned me the other day. She was literally sitting on the loo, not doing anything, but she was just sitting on the loo saying, I've just locked my children out of the toilet just to phone you and just to chat.
So what's up, girl?
They're not moving. So how else can people take me time? What do you recommend that people do just so that they still get that same value if they don't have the time to go for long walks and hikes and meditations?
What I suggest you do is an exercise. The exercise is a little bit difficult. It's 50 things that make you happy.
Wow.
Literally. So you're going to put down on a piece of paper, 1 to 50, 50, or 50.
That make you happy.
That's
We better find 50 things that make us happy. It'll make us happier to consider the things that
And
make
reflecting
us
on it, huh?
Yeah.
No.
That's it. You've hit the nail on the head. Totally. So what you're going to do, let's say like you like receiving flowers. So now you're thinking, okay, you're going to ask yourself, what do I need to do to unwind? And then you're going to think, I actually have no idea. But then you're going to go to your...
buy me flowers.
I know. I'll just be saying shout out to everyone at home. Send us flowers.
But you know that if somebody doesn't buy you flowers, buy yourself flowers.
That's it.
I'm totally into buying, like, self-gifting.
Absolutely. The idea is that you're going to go to the things that make you happy, the 50 things, choose one, and you're going to go and do that for yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much for always teaching us how to be better people and to love ourselves more. You're such a gem. We love having you here. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
So with all that said, it's crystal clear that nothing beats spending time with the most important person in your life, which is you. So right now, however, it's your time to shine, of course, with Big Soleil disposable razors. These are available at your local leading retailers nationwide.
Now, after the break, we sit down with Uzinika Gwele from Next Brand Ambassador. I have to hear all the tea regarding Next Brand Ambassador as the finale comes up, so don't miss out.
Express yourself.
This is it. After weeks of grueling challenges and intense boardroom deliberations, it all comes down to this. Only 3 of the top 5 will win the opportunity of a lifetime when they are declared the winners of the next brand ambassador. Tune in to see the judges' final verdicts and find out who will be victorious. Don't miss the grand finale on Thursday, 7th November at 7:30 p.m. Repeat Saturdays at 2 p.m. on SABC3. Proudly brought to you by Capitec.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. I hope that you're having a wonderful Monday afternoon so far. So after 12 thrilling weeks of competition and seeing the very best and talented minds in the field of marketing put to the test, the next brand ambassador finale is this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3, where 3 of the last 5 contestants will win the opportunity of a lifetime by becoming Capitec's next brand ambassadors. So if you have any questions for Zanika, head over to our socials using the hashtag Afternoon Express. Zanika, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you've made it so far, and then tell me a little bit about your journey.
My journey was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I had such a roller coaster ride on the show because I started at the bottom and I consistently stayed in the bottom.
Why did you stay at the bottom? Because do you think you were part of weaker groups?
It's a combination of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are paired up with people that you don't necessarily click with. And obviously when we get to the boardroom, we're going to start throwing each other under the bus. So it's also very tricky because you'll say one thing and then it rubs off someone else the wrong way, and then it just starts the whole ripple effect of, okay, Zanika is annoying, let's get rid of her type of thing. But I think also I took some time to actually gain my confidence in the competition, you know, if I'm being honest. So it just took me a while to get the hang of things.
I like that you did that, because I think if you start from the beginning with, you know, all guns blazing, then people are going to immediately take you as a threat.
Yes.
And then if you come across as too much of a threat, then that's when they're going to want to knock you under the bus.
Yeah, ideally you then become essentially the person that everyone wants to be gone.
Exactly, because you become the biggest competitor then.
Yeah.
So did you go in with a strategy? Or did you just kind of go in blind, I suppose?
For me, I really came in really open. I was really eager to learn because it was a really new, eye-opening experience for me. So I wanted to put my best foot forward. I wanted people to see who I am, sort of my energy, my personality. But then I really just wanted to be open to the show for what it is.
Totally, and it must have been an incredible experience. What were you doing before you entered the show? And did you have to, I mean, do you still have your job, or what were you doing?
Okay, so I was a full-time student, so I had to deregister.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So I had to deregister because, I mean, I was AWOL for 3 months, which is essentially a term.
Totally.
So now I'm going to have to go back to school, just
That's awesome,
do
though.
my life.
Yeah. And what were you studying?
I'm studying a Bachelor in Arts.
Okay, that's incredible. So now, what does your life look like? What's your plan? Back to studying.
Back to
And then where
studying.
do you hope it's going to lead to?
I'm hoping I obviously get a job. I'm hoping that something actually will materialize from the show because we've got really great exposure and it was really a good platform. Also, there's a lot of things about myself that I realized within the show that I'm actually now interested in doing this type of situation.
Totally.
I'd love to go into the industry in that way. So it's been an eye-opening experience. It's been really great.
What do you think was the most important lesson learned over your 12 weeks as Next Brand Ambassador?
Personally, for me, what I learned is that you need to, if you're given a chance, you need to maximize. There's no second chances, you know, because there were so many times that in the boardroom, you're coming in and you're so nervous and you're so in yourself that they give you that one chance to fight for yourself. And if you mess that up, then you're gone, essentially. I also learned that it's important to actually have a presence. It's not enough to just be there, but stand up for yourself, stick out in a crowd.
Yeah. That's such good advice. Be your best self in every opportunity that you can be, I think is a really, really important lesson. So who was the most inspiring of all the judges to you?
I absolutely am in love with Odette. Like,
I love her.
Absolutely.
She is crazy. I mean, she's so hectic, but I think she's amazing. No, I'm obsessed with her.
Like, when she comes in, I'm just like, am I looking okay? Is everything fine?
No, she is queen.
She's queen. But then I absolutely love, actually, all the judges are such a good combination of 3 different individuals and personalities. I mean, Nandi is such a sweetheart. And then there's Sylvester, who's also just such a nice person and bubbly and always just like looking so good also. But I absolutely, Odette was my favorite. favorite. I love Odette.
Well, you were a fantastic addition to the team. Congratulations.
Thank you so
And I really wish you the best for your future. So we've asked you at home if you've got any questions for Sanika, and Moonshine Poet Israel asked, "Hi Sanika, what's your biggest fear in life?" Great question. That's one of my favorites. I always ask that.
Oh, my biggest fear in life. I think it's to be mediocre, you know, to not live up to my full potential. Because I know that there's a fire in me. I know that there's so much that I can offer, you know. So that's why I'm constantly wanting to grow. I'm always trying to get myself out of my comfort zone so I can just fine-tune myself and get myself to be the best self. So I really would not want to be mediocre. What a waste.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful answer. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
So be sure to catch the epic finale of The Next Brand Ambassador on Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3 as the celebrity judges Odette van der Haar, Nandi Madida and Sylvester Chauke have the ultimate task of choosing Capitec's 3 next brand ambassadors. You definitely don't want to miss it.
This is it. After weeks of grueling challenges and intense boardroom deliberations, it all comes down to this. Only 3 of the top 5 will win the opportunity of a lifetime when they are declared the winners of the next brand ambassador. Tune in to see the judges' final verdicts and find out who will be victorious. Don't miss the grand finale on Thursday, 7th November at 7:30 p.m. Repeat Saturdays at 2 p.m. on SABC3. Proudly brought to you by Capitec.
Make sure you're tuned in to SABC3 for that epic finale. I'm definitely holding my fingers for my top 3. Now we chat to Chantal Goliath, who is the founder of the New Heritage Foundation, after the break.
Express yourself.
Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth, a support base where children undergoing treatments and their families are accommodated, supported, and given a fighting chance against cancer.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, in the world of medical and alternative treatment options, terms like medical marijuana and CBD oil have been all the buzz across the globe. Whilst cannabis plants have been praised for their healing properties, there still remains vast skepticism and misinformation around the plants and its respective products. So, this afternoon, we're joined by pharmacist and national training manager Sean Willard from Relief Pharmaceuticals to break down everything we need to know about CBD. Welcome to the loft, Sean.
It's lovely to be here, Felisa.
No, you're bringing something that a lot of people run away from, they don't know enough about, but at the same time can help change your life for the positive. I mean, what are some of the biggest misconceptions people have when it comes to CBD oil and using medical marijuana? And what is the product in the first place?
Yeah, so CBD stands for cannabidiol, which is really just a chemical compound we find in the cannabis plant. So we call it a phytocannabinoid, long word, but we actually have them in our own bodies as well, endocannabinoids. Okay. And probably the most well-known of them is CBD cannabidiol, also is THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. That's the one a lot of people know because it has a sort of an effect, you know, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I think the misconception out there about CBD is, will it affect me centrally? You know, will it make me high? All those kinds of things.
And does it make you high?
Nope, it doesn't. So the way it interacts with the body, THC does.
Okay. So it's basically the THC that's taken out of the chemical.
Correct, yeah. So the interesting thing is that CBD and THC, they both have the same chemical formulas, but they have a slightly different chemical structure. And they both come from the cannabis plant. So we have a whole family, but there's different species. So we often hear of, someone was asking me today, what about dacha olie or cannabis oil?
Yes.
And that's very different to CBD oil because it comes from a different plant, and people get confused by that.
So I know there's now this new legalization that South Africa has experienced when it comes to cannabis and the use of cannabis in different areas. But what are some of the properties or the benefits that one can experience when they take this treatment on?
Yeah, so we have to talk within the regulations that we have, and the regulations were set out in May this year by the Department of Health that said we can't make any wild medical claims. And I'm a pharmacist, so I really don't like that idea anyway, because it's not there to treat or cure or mitigate any disease. But yes, it does help with health maintenance, with health enhancement, and also for the relief of minor symptoms related to things like pain and inflammation or anxiousness, sleeplessness and restlessness. So I think a lot of people will just take it for health maintenance, to be totally honest.
So this CBD oil, it doesn't necessarily get you high, but it takes all the benefits, all the other benefits that comes along with it and kind of instills that within you.
I like your thinking. I think you've nailed it.
Yeah, I love that. Okay,
well said.
So for everyone out there who's keen and eager and says that, look, I see a need in my life for this, whether you're an insomniac or whether you do suffer from pain, a lot of people might use it for menstrual cramps. There are different things. I mean, where can people go out and receive these products?
Yeah, so always look for something that is reputable out there. I think it's important.
What should we look for?
Yeah, the product mustn't have any THC in it, or less than 0.001% THC. You know, if it can be third-party verified, like our products are by the Cannabis Research Institute, I think that's great as well. But they can find it at leading pharmacies and health shops around South Africa.
Okay. And is this like a specific branding that we should look for? South African flag, something that is approved?
Well, the Rethink, it's made by Relief, but the Rethink CBD brand is organically grown. Yeah, look for the CRI brand. It's endorsed by that.
Stunning. Thank you so much, Sean. I've learned so much.
Thanks,
and I'm very, very sure that this insight is now going to help so many people who are struggling daily.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Now, CBD products can be used to reduce stress, pain and sleepless nights. You can find the Rethink CBD range at all leading pharmacies and health stores nationwide.
Choose less anxiousness, sleepless nights, and pain and inflammation. Choose CBD. Choose Rethink CBD. Brought to you by Relief Pharmaceuticals.
Chantal Goliath is the founder and director of the New Heritage Foundation. Her work focuses on the restructuring and remodeling of learning facilities for primary schools and educare centres. Chantal is also passionate about rallying for support around pad drives and the well-being of our youth. If you've got any questions for Chantal, please head over to our socials using the hashtag Afternoon Express. Chantal, welcome to Afternoon Express. Welcome to the Loft. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me, Gigi.
So good having you here. So basically, I've understood the main gist of
what your organisation does.
Yes.
But explain to me how you do it. And just start from the beginning, what you do and how you do it.
Okay, so New Heritage Foundation is an organisation. We established it in 2013.
Yeah.
And basically we focus on education because it is very important. And so there's a lot of education in terms of high school and primary school. But really there was that outset of the daycare centres that we have in informal settlements. And that really just touched our hearts because a child from the ages between being born and 6 years, those are the crucial years that they have this concept of education. That's when the minds are transformed.
So how do you plan to change it from what is it, or how does it currently sit at the moment, and how do you restructure them to get to what?
Yes, so basically there's not much we can do in terms of where they are situated unless we rebuild it and restructure it. So we tried our best at times. Due to land disputes, there's a lot of that. So we're quite restricted in that terms, but we fix what we can. So we make sure that the roof is not leaking, the oil stoves, there's gas stoves, you know, there's educational material, there's activities that's happening within the daycare centre, and that every child is able to come in, you know, that it's not restricted whether they can afford it or not, you know, so we give our support in terms of maybe food that they need and educational material and making sure they have blankets for winter, that they don't sleep on the floor, there's mattresses and things like that. So that is basically
It reminds me so much of the system that was created in Sydney, Australia, and then it was adopted by New York by Rudy Giuliani when he was the mayor. And basically what the system was that no broken windows. So basically, even if you are poor and you're living in poverty, it shouldn't look like poverty around you, because mentally it has an effect on your self-esteem. So the environment that you live in must always be clean and look like there's pride. You know. So I mean, it must radically affect the students.
It does.
Why do you have a personal connection to this, and why it drove you to start this?
I grew up in
foundation?
poverty, extreme poverty. I was labelled as a child that was poor. I always say that I needed the bread. So each child in the school that gets a bread home is a child that is poor. And my bag couldn't barely carry my bag. So I couldn't hide the bread. But I couldn't also refuse it because I needed it. So, and I just feel that we have to be impactful and purposeful to what we do and how we're going to impact. And we just cannot leave this world as we found it. We have to make impact.
It's our responsibility to. And I know that you're also so active in doing these incredible pad drives. How can people get involved, and what kind of help do you need?
Well, they can get involved with assisting us to volunteering and help with when we're busy with our outreaches to what we're doing as New Heritage Foundation, as well as the PADS drive. A much equipped community can say, you know what, we want to be a change. We want to be part of the network. We want to do it right where we're at. And they can contact us, you know, in terms of that, because our goals are important. And the fact that they're missing out on school, it's a big challenge. And it's something that...
And I know we've done so many stories on that. Has it not changed? Has it not gotten better?
I think everybody's doing their bit. You know, they are doing, but more can be done. And if we are more impactful about it, if we have more conversations about it, I think we can end period poverty.
Yeah, I think that the work you're doing is absolutely outstanding. All of your information will be on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, should anybody want to get involved. And I think it is such a great concept and such great work that you do.
Thank you so much.
People should definitely rally behind you and help you more. So we've asked you at home if you've got any questions for Chantal. And Molebocheng Hlongwa said, I would like to know what are the challenges of implementing a heritage product or a project or program initiative?
What is the challenges about it?
Probably money.
Most definitely financially, there you have it, and as well as getting enough volunteers and as enough people to get involved with it from the word go. Yes.
And how receptive are people when you go into their schools and communities?
There's such a big need, Jeannie, that it is needed. They welcome it. The kids, they are hungry, especially when you have conversations, real conversations with the girls. They interact, they speak their mind. It's like, okay, you're talking about it. I've always wanted to talk about it, you know. So I think wherever you're at, you can create that impact and create that difference that you want to make. And just go out there and really just say, I'm here to help help you where you are struggling. And there is a big struggle.
Bless your heart for all the work that you
so
do.
much.
Thank you so, so much.
Thank you.
Gain peace of mind with an efficient laundry cycle. Feel cooler air, even at midday. Enjoy mealtime with food kept fresh all day long. Better inverter, LG Inverter.
So much to look forward to. Now, when it comes to home appliances, everyone wants biggest, the best, the fastest, and the most luxurious.
Definitely.
But it's difficult to get all those attributes in one product range. Now, whether it comes down to how efficient your fridge is at keeping meals and ingredients as cool, or how accurately your microwave can heat the next dish to perfection, efficiency is everything. And LG's awesome range of appliances use inverter technology to achieve this.
So inverter technology is a little bit like the brain behind the capabilities of LG's latest appliances and optimizes motor speeds, energy consumption and power output, meaning that you can always rely on LG no matter what appliance you're using.
Now, whether you're in the market for an amazing InstaView fridge or an Art Cool air conditioner, LG's inverter technology saves you time, saves you money, and makes life that little bit easier.
Gain peace of mind with an efficient laundry cycle. Feel cooler air, even at midday. Enjoy mealtime with food kept fresh all day long. Better inverter, LG Inverter.
Stick with us after the break as we get into Jiu-Jitsu fitness demo with Robin Taylor.
Express yourself.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Clover Active Drink is the ideal on-the-go snack drink for when you're about to embark on a workout. Packed with 15 nutrients, protein and calcium, it is the perfect item to pack into your gym bag. Now, speaking of workouts, one great way to stay in shape is self-defense classes. At Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, the Women Empowered program, that offer aims to show you women how to defend yourselves in threatening situations by unleashing their power. Now, here to teach and show us some self-defense as a form of powerful workout is Robin Taylor, and she's from and rather a specialist instructor at the Women Empowered. Welcome, Robin.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Now, I'm so excited about this because not only are we using martial arts as fitness, but we're using it with an aim. We're using it to help ourselves and to kind of warn away any other unwanted attention. So why did you decide to go into instructing jiu-jitsu?
Well, I've been training martial arts for many years, and to be able to be effective in a striking martial art for self-defense, you have to practice a lot. You have to be quite athletic, or it requires quite a bit of athleticism, whereas Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is a very simple self-defense that teaches the average person to be able to defend themselves against a much bigger, stronger person.
No, that is such a great idea, especially because right now as women, not only as women, as children as well, everyone needs to kind of take power into their own hands and take responsibility for what you bring to the table in dangerous situations. So what are some of the benefits that people can experience visiting Gracie Jiu-Jitsu?
So the Women Empowered program focuses on typical threats against women. So we teach you from being good at your awareness, okay, avoiding a situation, using boundary setting and simple techniques that unleashes their power.
Stunning.
Okay, so do you want us to show you something?
Let's get right into it. I see you've got the mat set up and everything. I want something simple, and then we can go off to something a bit more hard.
Okay, so I'm going to just show you one technique that's very likely. So an attack happens in 4 phases. Phase 1, they identify an unsuspecting target. Okay. Phase 2 is where they want to control you and take you into isolation. Phase 3, we're going to explain a little bit further, but they've taken you into isolation. And Phase 4 is carry out an assault.
Wow.
So we want to be really amazing at, first of all our awareness, and secondly, not getting to Phase 3.
Absolutely.
We want to be
Prevention.
fighting and screaming and drawing attention to ourselves and prolonging Phase 2 as long as possible. Okay. I'm grabbing onto your hand. What is your first thought when somebody grabs onto you that you
To
don't
try
want?
break free as quick as possible.
Yeah, okay. So Lyra's going to show us exactly how to do that, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to grab her from here.
Oh, that was so quick. Slow it down for us. What did we just see happen?
I'm going to let you do it, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to grab onto you. Now, your first thought was to pull, right?
Yes.
And you're just not going to get out of there. And what's happening? You're getting tired, and I'm managing to succeed at what I'm doing. So what I want you to do is we use leverage. We're going to keep our hands exactly where they are. You're going to push your elbow to my elbow. Look how it pops out.
Wow,
Right?
okay.
No strength required. Push your elbow to my elbow. Good. We'll teach you the follow-up super slap that Lyra
Super slap. Okay, let me just try it before we get to the next one.
Slap me. Don't slap me.
Okay, let's go. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, boom, boom, run. Okay, so
And that's the whole thing, right? The Women Empowered program teaches you to get away safely to your family. We want to get back on top of the fights and finish it. We want to be able to, as quickly and safely as possible, get away to safety.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, worst case scenario, if you're caught in a more compromising position, how do you go from there?
So Lyra's going to lie on the ground for us. So we talk about this is Phase 3 of an attack. A bigger, stronger, more aggressive person sitting down, pinning her down, choking her, right? If I'm choking her with intent, she's got 6 seconds before she's sleeping. Any ideas of what you would do to get out of here?
I would try create as much distance as possible, but I don't know how to do that when you're on the floor.
Also, what people often talk about is hitting in the face, punch into the throat, scratching in the face. Now, imagine I'm a much bigger, stronger person. That's going to make me really angry. I'm going to just need to punch her once.
Oh,
She's out.
lights out.
Yeah. So, Lyra's going to show us how to get out of here.
Okay, wow. So here, what we saw is Lyra kind of turned the tables on you and got you on the floor. But if you can just break that down slow-mo, how you did every step.
So.
Okay.
I'm choking her.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to choke for her right now. She traps my wrist. She traps my elbow.
Yes.
She traps my foot. Brings her foot into the middle, lifts her hips as high as possible, and rolls over to the side of the trapped arm and foot.
So that's where the magic happens.
That's where the magic
in the
happens.
hips, where she lifts you up using her own strength to kind of get you off the ground, flip you on your back, and then continue to defend herself.
From here, she'll strike, jump up, and run away.
Oh, nice, and run away. Stunning. Thank you so much, ladies, for speaking us through that. So important, so key. But the best part of it all, you're getting fit whilst doing so, and you're using it, of course, as a means of exercise. Ladies, continue doing incredible work, and I'm definitely going to come for a lesson or two. Now, that is certainly one powerful way to stay active. And even more better is Clover Active Drink for stronger, better, and a faster you.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover. Sure, that looked like fun. So cuddly, cute and pretty chilled, rabbits are the subject of countless fables, nursery rhymes, stories, kids' fashion and of course decor. But in a world of cats and dogs, Maltons reminds us that awesome pets and companions bunny rabbits can make. Bunny rabbits are actually the most amazing companions and great little pets. Now, someone uniquely qualified to tell us about this is Sian Heiser. No Dog Bunny Rescue was founded a few years ago by Cyan, as she took the problem of abandoned pet rabbits and turned it into a fantastic, sustainable opportunity.
I moved to Noordhoek in 2015, and in around 2016, I noticed there were a lot of feral bunnies hopping around the area. When I asked on our local community forum, they said that some tenants had moved out and left their bunnies to breed. They were ending up as roadkill, snake food, and as a previous bunny owner, I decided I wanted to do something about it. So we made some structures here so that we could house the buns that were coming in and people didn't want, and it grew pretty much organically from there. Until now we have a population of around 100. I was living overseas and living in an apartment, and I couldn't have a dog or a cat, so I asked my landlord if I could have another pet. So she said rabbits were acceptable. So I didn't actually know anything about rabbits, and I must say I didn't do adequate research, as most people don't. So I actually learned as I went, and I found them to be really sweet animals who are mistreated and neglected and misunderstood. People think that they eat carrots all day, just like Bugs Bunny. I get calls probably 2 or 3 times a week to take in rabbits, but equally I do have people wanting to adopt, which we're very lucky and grateful for.
Since domesticated bunnies live around 12 years or more, it pays to know what you're opting in for.
So an average day here would mean going around the rabbits, just making sure that everyone is fine and comfortable, cleaning. They produce a lot of poop, making sure they've got fresh water, fresh food, fresh hay, and I can't do that without my right-hand man, Lucky. This is Arthur and Alice, a brother and sister combo who came to us because their owner was downsizing. They're Flemish giants, and the bigger the rabbit, I find, generally the more passive they are. They'd make good family pets.
For an example of why these magnificent creatures make such good pets for families and for animal lovers, we asked volunteer turned owner Taryn van Veek.
Skylar I adopted from the Bunny Sanctuary. She actually chose me. I was minding my own business in one of the runs, and she came up to me and stood up on her hind legs and stood against my leg, and it was like love at first sight. A lot of these rabbits will sit here for their whole lives. As a responsible pet owner myself, I decided to come to a rescue centre and give one a home that really needs a home. They make great pets because they're easy as far as if you have to go out for the day or for the night, as long as there's enough food and water. Unlike dogs, we have to walk all the time. And also nowadays, it's so difficult to find a home where you're allowed to take pets to. You know, most of the rental places say no pets. Rabbits, they don't mind so much. They're not as destructive.
Producing a specific range of rabbit-friendly pet foods and snacks, the trusted Maltons brand is a bunny owner's best friend.
I think the misconception is that bunnies are kids' pets, and that's very much not the case. While kids can get a lot of enjoyment out of rabbits, the primary caregiver should be an adult, or at least somebody in their teens. A good diet is super important, and unlimited hay is the most important food substance for your bunny. However, supplementing it with a good quality pellet, such as Maltons, is very important too. Things like treats, they love, and it is a good bonding experience with your rabbit, but they should be kept to a minimum. It can be fatal if they don't get the right nutrition. they need to have enough space. They do like to be different levels, and they also like to have a place to hide. So if you do give them a little kind of enclosure, ensure that it always has an entrance and an exit, because they don't like to feel cornered.
With their character, warm nature, and quite zen way of living life, it's perfectly clear why bunnies are such favorite characters in so many children's stories.
When you adopt a rabbit from us, you're saving the life of the one that you've adopted, but also making space for another. We have way too many rabbits looking for homes. Supporting pet shops and backyard breeders is something that we want to avoid. And we really want people to understand that they shouldn't adopt or buy a rabbit on a whim. They're complicated animals, but they can be extremely rewarding. If you wish to volunteer with us, then we will soon have a volunteer program where you can come and spend time with the rabbits, get to know what they're all about, help us clean and feed them, perhaps even go home with one.
My heart actually can't even handle it anymore. All I want is a rabbit now. Ah, be still, my beating bunny. Now, authors Tom David and Warren Handley join us on the couch after the break.
Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth, a support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported, and given a fighting chance against cancer. Every day, brave young kids around our country fight their own private battle against cancer. To show them that other kids and families have got their back, a portion of the proceeds from every NutriKids product sold will go to secure the next Clover NutriKids Choc Home in Port Elizabeth, a support base where children undergoing treatment and their families are accommodated, supported, and given a fighting chance against cancer.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, no, my shoesies weren't uncomfortable. You might be wondering why we're barefoot right now, but it's because countless learners in South Africa go to school barefoot every day. And we are challenging you to go barefoot for a day to better understand the difficulties faced by these learners.
Absolutely. Now, a new pair of school shoes can give a child a new sense of confidence. And that's why we're asking you to hashtag go barefoot with Crush. And this can help donate you can help donate another 20,000 pairs of new school shoes in 2020. Simply buy your favorite Crush and hashtag share the goodness.
It's such a brilliant, brilliant initiative.
Absolutely.
Support Crush in giving away another supply the 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand a chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Join us on Afternoon Express weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. as we step into another incredible crush goodness journey with Clover. Hashtag share the goodness.
All right, on to our last segment. Tom David and Warren Handley did the unthinkable in 2017 when they walked 6,000 kilometers through 6 countries. Now, the pair have since written a book titled Walk With Us, a gripping African adventure. And if you've got any questions for Tom and Warren, please head over to our socials using the hashtag Afternoon Express. Welcome to the studio, guys. Firstly, why are you wearing your shoes?
I mean, get if you can't join them. Please, when you join us, take off your shoe.
Absolutely. Okay.
Absolutely. So this is, of course, an incredible campaign that Crush is running, raising awareness for people who are unfortunately disadvantaged by not having school shoes. And I think it's very important. Yeah, it's very important for people to kind of step into the shoes of these learners and see what they go through on a daily without school shoes. So that's why we're going barefoot.
Yeah.
We love it.
Thank goodness we did a pedicure before the show. Okay, so what a fantastic journey. Now, where did the idea come from?
So during varsity, Tom and I were actually living together, and I went and did an internship for an organisation called Aluwani, which focuses on early childhood development in rural areas in South Africa, specifically in Limpopo. And during that time, we were exposed to the incredible work that they were doing, and we felt really inspired by what was going on there, the way that the mothers were caring tirelessly for the children in the community. And we wanted to make a contribution or a commitment to try and ensure that no child should have to walk the journey of life alone.
And in communities like Limpopo and you know, all around South Africa, why is it so important to get involved in early childhood development? And what are some of the unfortunate things that we see coming out of these communities?
I mean, I think that it's a massive question, but like one of the big things for us, or that stood out most, was, you know, in kind of rural areas, often people have to leave the areas to go into kind of more urban areas to find work. So you find households being parents of young children having to go into bigger cities to find work, or even older siblings having to take on that responsibility. And children then either kind of either get left in an orphan household or a grandparent, for instance, or child-led household, or grandparent who may not have everything she needs to kind of facilitate that child's education properly.
So where did you walk to and from?
So we started by climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Oh, well, you started easy.
And then we walked back to Johannesburg. So through 6 countries, we went through Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and then finally back to Johannesburg.
And how does an act like that, because that is so monumental to me, I can't even begin thinking of taking those first steps. How does taking this walk and going through such an adventure raise awareness, number one? Is it because it's so unique, what you're doing is so unique and people kind of are all ears? Or is it the funds that you raise through the walk?
I think it's a bit of both, yeah.
So it actually became a very interesting conversation along the way, and we had to do this to raise awareness and attract attention. And so we did that through a crowdfunding campaign and through social media. And we were struggling at the time that people maybe weren't supporting us because of the cause we were representing, but it was 2 guys walking through Africa.
Rather the challenge.
And I think with so much going on and so many valid causes out there, you do have to do something a little bit different, and you have to put yourself out there to try and raise that awareness. So yeah, I think it was to raise funds, but more importantly, it was the story that we were left with afterwards and the power that that story has in encouraging other people to be more conscious and contribute.
And of course, you documented all of that in your book. How long did it take to write, and what can readers find in it?
Well, I think Warren and I were writing the whole time while we were walking. So that kind of, we made a point to journal as we went and really take note of people we were meeting and interesting stories that were happening to us. But then when we got back, it kind of took us still a bit of time. I think 14 or so months. I think it was almost a year anniversary to the day that the book came out. Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. So yeah, I think readers will not only will they be able to find just a little bit about our story and the route and the adventure that we went on, but also we try to bring it back and kind of ingrain a little bit of a responsibility in others, let people know the responsibility we have in ourselves now.
Yeah.
And yeah, just Yeah.
Well, I really hope everyone at home gets the book. Read it. It is definitely a page turner. Thank you so much for this incredible adventure. I think it looked, amazing. I would have loved to have done that. And, of course, Kilimanjaro. Tomorrow, we're going to be cooking with comedian and MC Donovan Goliath. That's going to be a huge laugh. Until then, good night and God bless.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.